Welcome to Backyard Plinky. My name is Charles. I'll be your host as we go through and explore everything BB and pellet related, from air pistols to air rifles, targets, and ammo. Today we're going to look at a CO2 powered air rifle, BB only. Yes, it comes from the people that are trying their best to be the lead dog. Matter of fact, you've actually seen this one. A little teaser at the end of the last video I did. This contraption is from UMAREX. They call it the EBOS, EBOS, Electronic Burst of Steel. I'm just telling you. This one actually takes 6 AA batteries into the handle because it literally has an electronic trigger on it, okay? Now, you'll find there are some airsoft guns that are out there that are like that, and some off paintball guns that would still use an electric trigger. Has an adjustable foregrip on it that you can unscrew and move back and forth. Now, here is a switch. You can either have 300 rounds a minute, 400 rounds a minute, or 500 rounds a minute. Don't get excited. Only got a 24 round magazine. BB only. Does have a safety. A little switch up here at the front will either let you get single fire, a 4 round burst, or an 8 round burst. Now, it does have an adjustable rear sight on it. This is where the front sight is. This long platform is actually the hopper for the BBs. And it looks really strange when you look through the rear sight, across the front, and then across the edge of the hopper. This one, I'll probably, as much as I don't like optics and stuff, we'll probably have to have one on there because of that. Can you still shoot it this way? Absolutely. Can you hit what you're aiming at? Absolutely. It just takes a little getting used to. CO2 power. The buttstock is not adjustable, but it is removable. It takes an 88 gram CO2 cartridge. Now, the 88 gram stuff is not real easy to come by. If you go into a sporting goods store or something like that, sometimes you'll run across the 90s. Those are for the paint and the airsoft. There's a dimension issue with them. It says 88 means 88. However, there's a couple of companies out there that make some adapters, and I don't have it yet. It's on the way. When it gets here, I'll make another video and we'll look at it. That actually replaces the 88, but on the end of it is a place where you can unscrew it and use a regular 12 gram CO2 cartridge. Standard. Obviously they use the 88s for a reason. These things will go through several hoppers, you know, before you start dropping pressure off, but I mean, let's be honest. It's a 24 round magazine. You know, if I use a 12 gram and I get, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 magazines out of it, I don't know, we'll find out. And I have to change the CO2. That's, to me, cheaper and easier than these things, because they're not the cheapest thing in the world, and they can actually get hard to find. So, not the cheapest thing on the block, and you're not going to pick it up off of the shelf. You will have to get it directly from UMAREX, but it's a lot of fun to shoot. Now, I will be making another video, and we're going to go back and we'll do a little comparison between this, the Steel Force, probably throw in the Beretta M92A1, where you can actually tell the difference in the cycle rate, how many rounds, how fast they're going out. This thing, and you'll notice that when I do the 8-round burst, it's very rhythmic. It's almost like a AK-47. It's really rhythmic the way it goes. Now that makes it a little easier to hold more rounds on target than just, you know, having them blast out of the end of it. So in the upcoming year, we're going to do some unique stuff with some targets, multiple targets. This will probably be the one that I'll wind up going to be able to pull that off, simply because of the rhythm and, you know, really being able to keep up with it. But I know, enough talking, just shoot it, you'll see. Single fire. Four-round burst. This one's a little easier to load too than the Steel Force. Not quite as much dance to it, but still happens. Alright. 8-round. Now this is where you'll see where the rhythm really kicks in. We're out. See what I mean about the rhythm of it? It's pretty consistent. It's a lot easier to hang on to than like the Steel Force or whatever. So now the advertisement on this thing says that they're coming out of the barrel at about 540 feet per second. You know, obviously, the more CO2 that gets depleted, that's going to start to drop off. And how many times that you're doing a rapid fire, 4-round, 8-round, stuff like that. That CO2 cartridge cools off pretty quick. When it cools off, pressure drops. When the pressure drops, that's when your projectiles start to drop off. Whole thing is like 24 inches long, a little over. I mean, it's not much. It's really short, especially for my big hands, my long arms. But it's a lot of fun to shoot, and it pretty much, even as awkward as the sight setup is, you can still pretty much get what you're getting at. I mean, you know, we're 8.5, almost 9 yards from sitting right here at the front-facing targets. So you'll get to see a lot more of this thing. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And like I said, we got some special plans for it. So, till next time, my name is Charles. This has been Backyard Plinking. Gotta try again.